If something interesting doesn't happen in the very first sentence of your story, you have already lost your reader's attention. Before you get alarmed or angry or decide to prove me wrong, allow me to clarify. Something interesting happening doesn't necessarily mean action. It can, as in the case of A Heart So White by Javier Marias, and including an interesting action in the first sentence of your story can be a great way to grab your reader's attention. But you know what else you can do? Start with an interesting thought or statement, like the first sentence in Annie John by Jamaica Kincaid, or Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto. Or your sentence might include an interesting word that grabs our attention, often because it seems at first to be out of place, like in Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. You can also open on a particularly interesting visual, like the first sentence from The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake by Amy Bender, or I Captured the Castle by Dodie Smith. Of course, there are exceptions. I happen to think that the opening sentence to Sally Rooney's Normal People is pretty bland. But the thing is, the style of that first sentence perfectly matches the matter-of-fact way Rooney has of telling that story. So it actually works. Now, the point I want to leave you with is that first sentences really matter. And by extension, first paragraphs, first chapters, they are the promise that the rest of the book has to deliver on. So when you're writing your opening pages, ask yourself, what promise do I want to make my readers? Or in other words, how can I show my readers the kind of book they're about to read?